me is Kusamoto from Japan, and welcome to our little show.
Nice to meet you.
Kusamoto, and you're the agent for the Pacific for Tadano cranes. Tadano cranes, we've had a lot to do with Tadano cranes in our show. We've seen them work, we've seen them do what they do. Big ones, small ones. So in your job, selling cranes, what do you have to do to convince the people you're selling them to buy one?
So firstly, crane needs to be very safety for
Safety?
operation.
Oh yes, yes.
And quality must be confirmed. And of course, crane is a machine for making money. So it needs to be, efficient for the operation. So combination of those safety, quality, and efficiency, that is our core value, needs to be mixed everything and well balanced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, so this is all over the world. So you're talking to people who don't speak English?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get on with that?
Well, we do have our local partners and distributor, like All Crane here in New Zealand.
Yes.
Of course, New Zealand is English-speaking countries, but All Crane knows about industry and people and what's the best for the country. Yeah, and we are having good relationship and liaison with those partners.
How long has Tadano been in business? I mean, when did they start?
Tadano started business in 2019. We had a 100-year anniversary. So it's now 102 years, 3 years, in the business. Yeah.
Well, that's and making cranes.
Making cranes, yeah.
So the first one, we looked at a crane that was built in 1876.
Yeah.
It was called a rapier.
Okay.
And it was a hand crank.
Yeah.
On the back of a railway wagon.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
So coming forward to about 1920 when you guys started.
So the founder of our company, named Mr. Masato Tadano, he started business in Hokkaido, that is northern part of Japan, and that is not starting from crane business. Yeah, but he's starting more for hydraulic and steel fabrication business.
So when did he build his first crane?
So first crane was built in 1955.
1955.
Yes, which is the first mobile hydraulic crane in Japan.
So previous to that, it was all wires, wasn't it?
Yeah, wire, or we imported crane from United States or United Kingdom or European American countries.
Right. And so he's come forward, and as you've progressed, the technology progressed with you. And so right now we're up to digital. Mm-hmm. And so in the cranes, I see they've all got a computer that tells you everything you need to know about what's going on the end of that jib. Who thought of that?
So what we called is AML, Auto Moment Limiter System. That is invented by our research and development department in, I think, early 1970. Oh. And then since then we developed one by one to user-friendly functions. And at the moment we have additional features which we called HaloNet or IC1 remote. So with this function, customer can remotely see where the machine working for the GPS or mobile communication satellite, and also operator or crane owner can see how much fuel they used and what's the crane condition at the moment, as well as error codes, so customer or ourselves can remotely provide service and if something wrong with the crane. So
we looked at a crane that was built probably end of 1970, just the other day, and it had a computer, but the computer was a box, and there was
it's dial?
No, it was just it had 3 dials along the bottom, and lights across the top, and then it had a little readout, and another little readout, and another little readout. That's around about that time. Yeah. So I thought that was amazing for then, but now of course it's. Can you operate a Tadano crane with a remote?
Yes, we do have that option. Yeah.
So there's an enormous thing, and there's nobody in it. And the guy's standing out, doing it all from.
Yep.
And I think that's absolutely amazing. So how long have the remotes been available?
Remote control is available, I think, in early 2000. Yeah, it's available. Yeah.
So where do you see the future of Tadano? What's the technology yet to come? Do you have any idea?
So we have just announced a couple of months ago that Tadano developed first electric rough terrain crane in the world. and it's coming in 2023. So market demand or society demand is more green, yeah, for more, CO2 reduction and those kind of things.
Is it possible to not have an engine in a Tadano and run it by an electric, plug in the
Plug-in or battery or hybrid,
Yes,
a
that's
couple
all
of
possible.
solutions, yes, we have.
Yeah, because I see some of the big, enormous drag lines from quarries, and they all run on electric. They're all electric. But they've got this great big huge plug about that big. It plugs in, and they've got all the, engines and electronical engines and to run these things. Massive. And it was just interesting that they're already run electric by plugging it in. But I guess cranes that have to move around like the mobile carriers and what have you, they need to have a battery. But the battery system I don't think is quite there yet. I mean, there's a Fuso truck over there, just become battery, but only does 150k, which means it can do one job in a day, and then charge.
Yeah, with current, I think, technology, we do have similar situation that is only battery charged only for one day job. So driving to the job site and then do some lifting job, and then coming back to the site or customers, for recharging.
Yeah. In 1921 in this country, we had electric trucks, and they went out every day, did 60 miles. They went out every day, collected the milk, come back, took it all off, and then charged. And at the time, their use-by date came about 1927, and they decided, what are we going to do with these trucks? We can't recycle them, we can't do anything with them. And so what they did was dig a very big hole, put them all in and buried them, which is an interesting aspect of what's going to happen to batteries that are dead. Nothing, you can't do anything with them apart from bury them. Is that something that Tadano sort of thinks about?
Yes, our long-term goal is we announced by 2050 net carbon zero. That is our commitment and announcement. So until then, we need to develop our product and service to contribute and achieve that target, net carbon zero. So one of the solutions is, of course, electric rafting crane, and also we need to think about more fuel efficient solution, not only electric rafting crane, but also some other solution like hybrid and those kind of mixture of innovation.
So how many cranes would you produce a year? How many Tadano cranes go on the market each year roughly?
To the world?
To the world.
I would say our production number in Japan is around 2,000 mobile cranes, and truck-mounted cranes on conventional truck. We are manufacturing around 7,000 to 8,000 cranes, and our factory in Germany is around 600 to 700 units. So
that's a lot of cranes.
Total, around 10,000.
And that's from the big one right down to
So our product lineup is starting from 1-ton truck loader cranes, which is mounted on truck, like Hino or Isuzu truck, to 3,200-ton lattice boom crawler crane, which is releasing from our subsidiary company Denmark.
So that's the great big wide with the tracks. We saw one of those folks down when we were doing the dam down in Nelson. They had a Tadano on these very wide tracks, but the thing about that is they could actually put the tracks in or out to suit where they had to go. So they still had the width, but they could adjust. That's amazing. There's a crane out there now that's got the tracks this wide, but it also inside it has stabilizers. Why would you have stabilizers as well as big wide tracks?
That is to balance the carrier, for the rough terrain. And also, that is a model named AC6300. 6 means number of the axle, and 300 means maximum lifting capacity. And that is one of the best crane in its class. It has 80-meter boom length and good for wind farm maintenance project. So without having fly jib or roughing, machine can reach to up to 80-meter height
Wow.
and change some generator of the windmill
Yes.
from nacelle.
Yeah, we saw that the other day, folks. You might remember the nacelle, which is the cover. They picked up the lid, and the men went up inside and changed the oil. But that crane was the crane, and then it had an extension in order to
Yep.
get there. And I notice your Tadano cranes also have an extension, sort of, which is on the side. So when you put it down, you lock it all in
Yep.
and do whatever the job needs to be done.
So advantage of that crane is that that crane owned by our loyal customer Macrail, and he has also 350-ton crane with 6 axle, with having 60-meter boom. So he used to use that crane for windmill maintenance project with laughing fly, but now he doesn't need to carry any laughing fly by separate trailer, but only main boom can do the job. So it's much easier and safer and efficient.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Do you have a crane that you have to build? Do you take all the pieces to the job, put it all together, it does the job, and you take it all apart, put it back on the trucks? And do you have a crane like that? Or are they all truck mounted and on a carrier with 6 axles, 8 axles?
Yeah, we do have a couple of cranes which we call all-terrain crane, like that AC300,
Yeah.
and rough-terrain crane, maybe from here right now. Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and also we do have a elevated work platform.
Wow. How long have you been doing your job?
I joined Tadano in 2006,
Oh, okay.
so it's now 16 years, 17
16.
years,
And this
only
is-
Tadano. So my blood is really blue. Tadano.
And you're still learning
Yes.
about Tadano. So when they build a new crane, I mean, you're obviously just the salesman. No, I say just, but when they build a new crane and you have to sell it, do they send you all the information about how it was built and what it does and that sort of thing?
Yes. I used to live in Germany, where we have factory in Germany for all-terrain crane. So I have learned from production or even welding chassis frame until complete commissioning or complete testing, everything.
Yes.
So I did run each process of the manufacturing, and then we know that where we have strengths of our R&D. And
Yeah. So do they have safety features built in? So I can't, if I make a mistake, the machine knows I've made a mistake and stops me? Is that,
yes, we do have that kind of function, and also we do have a good sales feature or operation feature, what we called lift adjuster. So when boom extends to the like 50 meter or 60 meter, there is some deflection of the boom because of the length.
sort of,
And then what we call lift adjuster, this deflection can automatically calculate how much deflection has. And without our features called safety lift adjuster, when object lift up, crane or object sway away because of this deflection.
yes.
Yeah, but since our safety feature called lift adjuster calculates how much deflection and how much potential sway away of the load, automatically adjust the elevation angle and then prevent this sway away.
Oh, okay.
So that is good for operator as well.
So the operator doesn't know about it.
Yeah,
He just, oh shit.
he just switch the bottom
Yep.
and machine calculate
Yep.
about the deflection and then lift up. So sometimes operator can't see this load because sometimes beyond the wall,
Yes.
or more, a lot of things,
So he's blind.
blind, or sometimes, on the building,
Yes, can't
which
see over.
only can see with dogging person, communicate with a mobile phone or,
Or a two-way radio.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's incredible. Is there anything you'd like to tell me about Tadano that's special to you?
Tadano we acquired business of Denmark in 2019. That is largest business acquisition for Tadano. And our long-term goal is to be a lifting equipment manufacturer #1. That is our long-term goal.
Yeah.
And acquisition of Denmark business is very good addition, not only in terms of lineup point of view, but also people. Having Denmark friends together with Tadano becomes more stronger.
Yes. Nice.
So what we call stronger together. So we are really achieving about that.
Excellent. Excellent. Oh, well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you.
From the horse's mouth, all about Tadano. Tadano have been building cranes since 1956. Tadano is the name in mobile cranes, from 2-axle to 7-axle cranes, as well as track cranes. Tadano, a great choice of crane. So if you're looking for a crane, why not choose Tadano? Tried and true. To find out more, just go to allcrane.co.nz. With me is Tim Elliott from Kepler Motors in Hamilton. And good on you,
Good to see
Tim.
you.
Maybe tell us a little bit about the vehicles you sell.
Right, well, we've got an absolutely amazing range from the GWM Haval product lineup. We start with a small SUV with the Jolian, and we start from that at $27,990 plus on-road costs. We then go through that range. We have 3 models in the Jolian range. We then go into the H6, which is the next size up, your mid-size SUV, and that we actually have 5 models in that range.
Wow.
Yeah, starting from $33,990.
Yeah.
So when you look at the value for money in our range, and we even have right through to a hybrid like our new car behind me here. As well as the SUVs, we have a stunning lineup of the GWM Cannon, which is New Zealand Autocar Magazine's Ute of the Year for 2020.
Wow.
Not only has it come up Ute of the Year because of its build quality, ride quality and safety, now 5-star safety rating in 2021, it is an absolutely amazing package. You don't get the harsh ride that you traditionally get in a ute, but you get all the safety and benefit of having 3-ton towing capacity, up to a ton payload in the back, but also room for your guests in the back of the vehicle if you're taking a few along with you.
With a bit of leg room.
With a bit of leg room and vents in the back so they have actually get a bit of fresh air as well.
Oh, that's marvellous. Get hold of Tim and I'm sure he'll look after you.
Look forward to hearing from you.
DMAG stands for uncompromising quality. As one of the world's leading manufacturers of high performance and reliable industrial cranes, crane components and drives, we offer our customers a comprehensive range of smart solutions for their material flow and logistic needs. Our name is synonymous with maximum safety, reliability and innovation. We provide our customers with smooth processes, maximum efficiency and best results. So, want to find out more? Just call All Crane on 0800 All Crane or check out their webpage www.allcrane.co.nz. On the 1st and 2nd of October, the Higgins Heritage Park people are holding a transport fest. It's going to be a great weekend with lots of vintage transport on display as well as other vintage machinery. And they'll have children's rides, demonstrations, barbecue, silent auction, craft stalls and FPOST is available. So why not plan for this on the 1st and 2nd of October, take the family along and thoroughly enjoy yourselves. So if you'd like to find out more, just go to www.higginsheritagepark.co.nz. So our next story comes under the in all part of Cranes and All. Back in the day they established this little shed, and in the shed it's got an engine, clutches just like a normal crane or dragline, and it sends out a bucket or a scraper really. It's sort of based on a dragline system, but it scrapes the bottom and pulls the material along in front of it, and when it comes out of the water it sort of deposits the gravel onto a heap, and this digger will come along or loader will come along when the heap gets so high and take it away and put it through a crusher. But you can just see this bucket has sort of scraped the material up and it's spreading it out in front of itself as it goes. There's the operator with 2 long levers, and there's a couple of attachments at the end of these levers, but he knows this thing backwards, and so he'll send it out again, and so it goes. So Now that little shed is no longer there and they've replaced it with this machine. So I'll talk to Duncan, who runs this place, and we'll have a look at this machine. And you've replaced that now with this old forestry machine. And I guess that forestry machine sort of sent the scissors down and picked up a log, and it too was anchored to a digger to sort of, send the wires into the right place. And then it would pick up the log and drag it back and stick it beside the digger, and something else would pick that up and take it away. And so the operator sort of spent the whole day sort of sending the scissors down, grabbing a log, and back it would come. And that basically meant that there was nobody at the other end, nobody to get hurt, nobody to out of harm's way. And I guess in terms of safety, that must have been a great sort of evolution of machinery, having nobody at the other end. It was just incredible. And I see that there's a digger on the other side of the pond, and there's a dragline bucket sort of halfway. And so what your operator's going to do is send that bucket to get to the other side.
Oh, we can take it right back to the far side if we need to, but we'll go back as far as we safely can with it.
Yeah.
And it's just a simple process. Haul the bucket out, lower it down, haul it back in, and with any luck it's full of stones.
And it's full of stones, maybe a fish. And so that releases just like the old dragline bucket and it just drops it in a heap. And
not necessarily, because the two ropes will lower down together.
Yep.
And then we'll haul in, and once we go to cast the bucket out again, the skyline that it's running on will lift up and everything will just drop straight from the bottom of the bucket.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, we'll kick her in the guts and we'll watch this do this.
Sure thing.
Righto, what's his name?
Norse.
Righto, Norse, when you're ready.
Yes, it is.
Scraping this pond for 1 million years.
1982, 83 I think it
A
started.
fair bit of bloody material.
Yeah.
Does it sort of replenish itself somehow? Or?
Not really, no. Everything basically from the long reach up there back to the screening plant's all been dug over, except for basically where the road line goes up.
Right. Amazing how far out that is. You sort of see the ropes waving there, but it's amazing how far out it is.
Yeah.
Then when he sees it, he kicks it in the guts and drags that last bit. Yeah. So a digger, or not a digger, a loader will come in and pick all that up, stick it on a truck, and
At the moment we're just hauling up with the loader. We've got it's only a short haul, but I think once we widen that bucket we'll need a bit use a dump truck to move it.
let's go back to the machine, Linda.
It's a little scruffy. All the water in the older ropes, it doesn't help the aesthetics of it.
Duncan, the bucket is just, well, it's just like a little sieve, really, upside down.
Pretty much, yeah.
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 And so the power, like the working part is the back wall. It's sort of drops into the sea and then it pushes all the material ahead of it.
Yeah, it catches and the material pretty much folds in and builds up more ahead of itself.
Yes.
And when it reaches the lid, it'll actually give it a wee bit of lift.
Oh.
So you're not having to pull so hard, it's not biting in the ground all the time.
Is that less diesel?
I hope so.
Fair enough. And you say you've only got 2 wires rather than 3. The third wire, if it was one there, would pick it up and sort of like the old
You can do it
bucket.
with a conventional bucket. You can use a third line for tipping it with, or you can use the third line as a skyline, and instead of hauling in and out, you leave the skyline static and the tail rope will run through a block where it's hooked on now,
Yeah.
and up, and it'll be sitting on the skyline, and that other one up there won't be there at all.
No. So tell me about the digger on the other side. You can actually move that left or right to.
Yeah, yeah.
So that means somebody's got to go over there and start it up and move it.
Oh, probably 3 of us.
Oh,
It's,
take
yeah.
a cup of tea with you.
Yeah, no, it'll kick to life, and we can move it, and it gives you more options of where you can dig. You're not limited to pulling everything to one spot. You can move the yarder,
Yeah.
you can move the tail, and you work the area out a lot better.
Sure. Let's have a look at this engine. You were telling me before that these things had a V12 71 in them.
Yeah, like
12 V71 as they were called. Yeah.
like a lot of the older machines, I've found the new series, the newer Series 60s are a lot more economical to operate.
Is that a Cummins?
No, Detroit.
Oh, that is a Detroit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, you can't go too far away from Detroit.
No, you can't. And that's a gearbox on the back that's driving the winches?
Yeah, you've got the torque converter and then the
right.
2-speed transmission,
Yep.
and that just drive the winches through good old chain drive.
The operator's got a nice comfy seat to sit in, somewhere to put his feet on top of those 2 brakes, and a couple of little
Controls.
controls. There you go. Hope you enjoyed that.